Welcome in this second part of our video on professional networking for young professionals and students. We are in a multiplicity of communities. That's what we have seen in the exercise at the end of the previous video. I want to point as well that networks are constantly evolving. It's a system, it's interconnected, and it's moving all the time. People are leaving, people are coming in, new ties are built, closer bridges are made. So it's constantly moving with time, with our connections, with our new jobs, new communities we join, etc. So it's constantly evolving as well because we get older, and when we get older, we have more experience, more seniority. Because we move as well, according to geography. Imagine that for some of my students, they are from America, from Asia. They have lived at least in 2 or 3 countries. So they have a community in their home countries, they have a community in Paris, so their network is international. And what makes us as well sometimes a little bit uncomfortable is that it's unpredictable. It's very difficult to predict what will happen because we don't know exactly how our life will evolve, our communities will evolve. Still, we can strategize it. We can think about what we want to build, and I really encourage you to reflect on the kind of professional you want to have in your network. So that's one important point. A second important point is that you are growing with your network, or your network is growing with you. Meaning that when you link with fellow students today and peers in your internship, for instance, years after years, you are going to jump in the corporate ladder, right? So step by step, you will be maybe an assistant product manager, then a product manager, then a group manager, then a brand manager. And your colleagues that you met at the internship will have, some of them will have the same kind of evolution, professional evolution. So at one point, you will be a marketing director and there will be the director of an advertising agency that you need to connect with, for instance. So it's important that you start young and small so that your network will grow with you, with your age and your experience. Okay? Same for your boss, by the way. When you connect with your boss in the internship, maybe when you will be a marketing director, your ex-internship boss will be the GM of a company that you're very interested in to meet. Okay? So it's quite interesting to reflect on that. What result can we expect from professional networking? And networking in general, by the way. There's quite a lot of academic research, so I'm not going to give you all the details here. But I can tell you that there are research and recent research that show that professionals who practice networking are better paid because they are better known. They are more often promoted because they are able to build trustful relationship with others. Networking impacts positively career success because you have a lot of information when you know a lot of people. Women who attend to women's conference, for instance, who are in women communities have better career. So all this research, there are so many more. If you look for it, you will find a lot. There's a lot of research around the positive benefit of professional networking. So I can hear from here, from in my office, while I'm recording this video for you, I can hear, yes, but it's because people are, willing, are very transaction-oriented, goal-oriented, willing to take from others and not to give, etc. So we are going to come back to that. But you need to remember that in the professional life, building your network and building quality relationship with others will generate trust. And when there's trust, a lot of things are possible on a professional standpoint. Okay? So today we are in the era of social networks, digital social networks. What do they bring? For sure, they bring us a lot of accessibility, a capacity to diversify our network, the capacity as well to track the relationship and to track people. So to know what they do. Through LinkedIn, for instance, you can follow the evolution of a career. Social network, digital social network bring you as well some visibility, because when you're able to post something, you take the chance to have your the news you're sharing seen by many people. And finally, so it brings you audience, obviously. But on the other side, we need to be very careful that these social networks, digital social networks, bring as well anonymity, banality, a lot of competition. So it's quite important to really stand for yourself and have something specific, personal to say. It brings as well illusion, because, okay, we have maybe 500 people connected with us on LinkedIn or more, but how many can we call and they will pick up the phone? So we need to be very realistic about the analysis of our presence on the digital social networks. Okay, but for sure it's super important to be present, and you can refer to my video on LinkedIn to help you build a strong profile. So we were saying at the beginning of this first video on networking, professional networking, that it's quite emotional, and that we are a little bit afraid, excited, curious, and afraid, sometimes scared about this idea of professional networking. And so I want to take a moment with you to reflect on the goals that we can pursue through professional networking. And you will see that this will help you as well feel more comfortable with this idea of professional networking. So what are the goals? What can we think about? We can think about exchanging about your work, about your job. I do my job this way, someone else does it another way. How can we compare, exchange, get new ideas? To find new opportunities, to find clients, suppliers, to recruit, to be informed of latest trends in our area, or to document ourselves on a new area that we want to explore. It helps innovating as well, because you're going to meet people that have different opinions. So the confrontation of different opinions and perspectives bring innovation and creativity. You will get information when you need it. Sometimes you need a very important information to go further on a project. Who can you call from your network that will help you find the right answer? It will help you as well get feedback on a project, on your profile, on your resume. So sometimes asking for advice is smarter than asking for a job. It will help you as well help others, which is great, by the way, because you can take pride and feel really fully satisfied when you are able to help someone in your network. And you can share as well your knowledge, your art, your passion. So we are going as well to think about what you are bringing to the table. Maybe we can tackle this question now. I would like to propose another exercise in this video. So you're going to hit the pause button, the pause button in a few seconds. I would like you to take your piece of paper and your pen, maybe color pens, and write everything that comes to your mind, answering the question, why, what do I bring to the table? So imagine you're going to meet someone that is more senior than you, so you're a little bit, intimidated. You feel like very small. What are you bringing to the table? And try to write very concrete things, ideas, and then after 2-3 minutes, you can come back. Okay? So welcome back. How do you feel now that you have listed at least 10 or 15 ideas of things that you can bring when you meet new people through professional networking? I'm sure you feel better because when it gets more concrete, the fear of uncertainty is fading a little bit. Okay? So we come back to our story of networking. There are steps in the networking process. The first step is to initiate the connection. So to initiate a real contact. Sometimes it starts with a request for connection on LinkedIn, but then we need to go further. If it's only just a connection on the network, but without any content, it's a bit light. So initiate the connection. The second level of interaction is how to maintain the connection, how to give news. For instance, my students don't know what to do with the people they meet in companies, in the recruitment process, for instance, for an internship or a first job. I can tell you that from the other side, from the human resource people point of view, for instance, they are super happy to have news. They tell me, we want to have news from the students or the young professionals we have met, because maybe we didn't hire them now, but maybe in 5 years' time, we'll be happy to hire them because we will have a job, because there will be an opportunity for them. So we want to learn about their evolution. So that's a way to maintain the relationship. The third point is to leverage the connection. So to, in a way, use, even if this word is not very comfortable to use in professional networking, how are we going to leverage the connection? So when are we going to use it? And you will see that it's quite interesting to find small ideas to leverage your connection. Sometimes it's more comfortable to ask for an advice than to ask for a job. And when I say more comfortable, it's more comfortable for both sides. For you, as someone asking for an advice, and for the person who's accepting to meet you and discuss with you. If you ask for a job, they might, if they don't have any opportunities to propose, they might feel a little bit cornered, so not very comfortable. But if you ask for advice on your resume, on your career, etc., it's easier for them to answer. Let me touch on two important points before closing this video. The first one is about ethics. There's a Spanish researcher who is called Dominique Mellet, and he has published many papers around this idea of ethics of networking. And he says that, in fact, everything is linked to the intention. Is identifying 3 types of networking. The first one that he calls utilitarian networking. And this is the connection that you establish with the only intention to get something from the other. Okay, so only from the utility point of view. The second category of networking is called emotional networking. And this connection is established to satisfy a need for belonging and for affection. So we want to belong to a community. We want to belong. We want to be recognized and loved in a way. So that's emotional networking. And the third networking category is the ethical virtuous networking. And it's a sincere desire to do good and to help. So, which means that the intention behind networking is super important, and that the best way to feel comfortable building your network, especially in a professional surrounding, it's really to be to have this intention of being ethic and to be sincerely willing to help and contribute. Okay? And as you have listed already what you bring to the table, and I really invite you to deepen this reflection, you will feel much more comfortable, and you will realize that you have a value, that even from your young age and young experience, you have a lot to bring. Okay? So these are quite important. The intention is quite important. Then this leads me to another very important point. There are implicit rules that I prefer to make explicit. So I call it the basics of networking, and you will find it most probably on my blog. The basics rules are being polite. Yes, being polite, super important. Be humble, ask for advice, for feedback, for recommendation. Ask small things. Don't ask for the moon, just a little bit of star or stardust. Be transparent about your goals, meaning that you can start a professional networking meeting saying, I'm looking for a job, and in this context, I would like to get your advice. Okay? So you're not asking for a job, but you're just mentioning that you have the goal to find a job. Be genuinely interested by what your counterpart is telling you, what people tell you. So you need to listen. You need not to interrupt. You need to be more listening than talking during a networking meeting. Be generous. Offer help for free. Contribute. Help them reflect. Help them enlarge as well their vision. Be prepared. So reflect in advance to your questions, to the way you're going to introduce yourself, and very important, respect the timing. If you have asked for a 30-minute meeting, it's 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes you're out of the room. So you need to respect that. Be trustworthy. If you have offered to do something, do it. Be grateful. Never forget to say thank you after a networking event or a networking meeting. And be loyal. Give news. And honestly, people are super happy. If you meet someone while you are looking for a new job, if you find a job, tell them. They will be happy because they contributed. So they will feel as well satisfied to have helped you. And it will help your relationship to grow. Okay, so as a conclusion, I would like to try to answer to this question: why is it so emotional? Why is it so emotional? It's so emotional because it's a human-to-human relationship, and because very often we think about professional networking as a place to ask for something and to be a little bit begging for something. So it's not very comfortable as a position. We might feel even belittled by this position or embarrassed. So a very good way to temper this emotional anxiety around professional networking is to prepare your meetings and to ask for small things. I've told you many different times, but ask for advice. Ask for a story about their career. People love to talk about themselves. They love to talk, to explain. They love to share. They are super happy to help others. So just ask for small things, and most probably you will get much more than you ask for. The second point is that not to feel too small, too belittled by this position in the professional networking as a young professional or a student. Reflect on what you're bringing to the table. And I can tell you, there's so much. Imagine, just think about the fresh eyes you're bringing to people like me, of my age. You are bringing a brand new perspective. This is super important. So you need to become more conscious about how you can contribute in a networking meeting. Okay? So I think that's about it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to know more about me and my sharings, please become a follower of my TV channel on YouTube, the Inspilab, and share your experiences, your questions in comments here. And I promise I will come back to you. Okay? Thank you so much for listening and looking at this video, and see you soon.